So my name is Monique Frize. I was a professor at Carleton University and University of Ottawa, teaching biomedical engineering and of course doing a lot of research in that area, including the fields of machine learning applied to the clinical environment and infrared imaging, ethics, and women in engineering. So I would like today to present some of the research that we've done, which I think is one of the most interesting projects that we were involved, my students and I. So we really would talk about a paper we wrote some years ago about decision support systems. How do you make sure that they will be integrated into the real clinical world? So our goal was to use successful criteria for the successful integration of the systems that we would develop. So we designed an artificial intelligence system using machine learning for physicians and parents of infants in the neonatal intensive care unit. The users, of course, are neonatologists and parents and guardians of infants in that unit. Now, the criteria for successful deployment, we found a lot in the literature, but it wasn't complete. And we completed the successful criteria with our physician partners. So here's what we discovered at the end and decided to use: that data entry and decision algorithms must be automated. You don't want them to start entering data, they won't do it. Access must be easy, secure, of course, and use the least amount of physician time possible. And again, they are so overworked, that's very important. And third, the output should be of clinical value, and that's quite obvious to physicians, and improve the quality of care, decrease the costs, hopefully, and fit into their workflow. So information must be, again, simple and efficient. And you can see the paper we published there in 2010. So that was the first part of this particular integration to this paper. And then we developed the physician-parent decision support design, and we call it PPADS for short. And it collects data from 20 infants in the neonatal intensive care unit at the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario in Ottawa, Canada. And it takes information from the bedside monitor, the ventilator, laboratory information, medical imaging, and discharge diagnosis information, which is very important. And all this is done automatically online in real time. Now, the physicians see a summary of all patients, and I'll show you that at the end. And they can click on any individual patient to retrieve all the information about that baby. And then we added a trending tool, which tracked patients' vital signs, because we thought it was very important to generate warnings for small changes and alerts for very meaningful deviations. Now, for parents, they can see current condition of their baby, the current treatment, the outcome prediction, if they want to see that. This is at will. And they have decision support, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. And they have a glossary to explain all the terms. Now, decision support is based on the International Patient Decision Support Guidelines. So it really follows those guidelines, and it helps the parents to decide whether they agree with the physician team to either continue care or stop care, go to palliative care, all these difficult decisions. So the parent module also provides risk predictions for mortality and other conditions, critical conditions, 6 of them that they can see. Data entry, of course, was automated in our system, and the access, again, meets the secure and user-friendly. Physician and nurse time spent with the system is very minimal. And the system was developed with a frontline physician, Dr. Barisiak at the CHIO, on the design team, and she was there from system conception to the final prototype to ensure the format and type of information supplied would be of clinical value to the physicians in her unit and integrate smoothly into their workflows. The displayed information is very simple. I'll show you a few slides afterwards. Usability study was done with the NICU parents, and it showed that the system improved the parents' access to relevant information. And that allowed them to really have better communication with the medical team, have better questions. And of course, it was 24/7. They could send emails and make their comments on the system. And you can see we published another paper about that study. We later on did the neonatologists with, again, a very excellent results. So in conclusion, in future work, physicians, they can't wait to see the system in their environment. They keep asking Dr. Barisiak, when are we going to have it? And so it's very positive for us to see that we've gone on a proper route to integrate the proper successful criteria that will make it acceptable. The system should lead, we know now, to quality of care and perhaps decrease the cost of healthcare delivery. The system can predict complications before they arise. And so this again could lead to improved patient management. A new usability study will be carried out again because now we've really improved the system. It's almost ready to go. And we will see how it fits in the physician's workflow using real-time information and with more than one physician and more than the few parents we had. So the system will be offered for deployment shortly after the study. And we are also now offering it for technology transfer to companies who would like to acquire this system, and we're in the process of doing that. So here's an idea of how it works. We have the clinical module, the parent module, and we have the clinical data repository, which now has millions and millions, about 15 years of cases, and it's updated with each new patient. And the database for the clinical decision support system with the machine learning and all that. And we don't use Drupal anymore. That's an older slide, but we have now updated to a better way to show the parent module. And you can see now the physicians, they can see the whole range of patients, 20 of them, and they can click on any of those and retrieve the data. And interestingly, you can see that this particular one has the first one has 3 red little arrows on the risk level. That means there's a very serious deterioration. And the next one, the next patient is 2 green ones, and that means the patient is actually improving. So final slide, the parents can decide on full active care, non-escalation of care, or do not resuscitate order, and withdrawal of life support and go to palliative care. So thank you very much. And if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.